this computer.
All right, let's get started.
All right. So just so you know, because this is a tech tool session, we are using my new favorite tech tool. Feel free to sit anywhere you want. This right here is called, for all you tech nerds out there like myself, this is called the UC 1500 by Revo Labs. And I am on my state, the New Jersey Health and Phys Ed board. Meredith, this is Tech Tools. Are you here for Tech Tools?
That's across the hall.
We switched the room on you. I'm sorry. That's why I figured I'd ask you. So this, if you ever do any work with getting people together for meetings, this right here allows people from the interwebs to hear everything that's going on really, really well. This is a microphone. This is a microphone. This is a microphone. And they're also speakers. So people, if they ever do decide to chime in, we'll be able to hear them really well. It's the best system I found to mic up a room really easily. It just goes right in through USB. I have the camera here, so like you all are safe. The rest of you don't like pick your nose.
Smile.
And the camera.
So again, Revo Labs. I don't work for Revo Labs. I don't make a commission. I needed something for people to Skype into my New Jersey AFERD Phys Ed and Health board who couldn't make it, who didn't want to drive 2 hours, and this is what I use. I think it was right around $1,000.
It's about 800.
Okay, 800. So again, it's fantastic, and you'll get to hear it after the day. All this is being recorded, and we'll put it up, and I'll tag the hashtag EdCamp New Jersey, so you'll hear what it sounds like, what it looks like, and hopefully the entire room will sound good. We did a couple tests out earlier, and it worked, and it has worked for my room before. So I'm Justin. I'm one of the organizers of EdCamp New Jersey. But again, if you've ever been to an EdCamp, it's not a presentation. I will try to facilitate the best I can and not talk. So with that being said, who wants to talk about either a tech tool they want to learn more about or something they're really excited about?
What was the link to invite somebody?
It's on Twitter. If you look on Twitter, I put it out under the hashtag EdCamp New Jersey. So any tech tools that people are really excited about that they would like to share? Yes.
About it, like Adobe?
Whatever you want, share it. Tell them about it.
I don't know. I'm curious. I want to learn more about it.
Okay, so
use Adobe.
who knows about Adobe Spark? Yes, miss.
Learned about it. My kids are actually creating their own commercial you can actually go to Kite Learning. I'm not sure our district, I don't know if they purchased it or whatever, but that's for our PD. But it's Adobe Spark. They'll give you a tutorial basically on how to manipulate Adobe Spark. And it's very simple. I played on it. I'm not techie at all. So I literally just played around with it for 15 minutes and I was able to create my own commercial.
What was the website called?
The website for, I'm sorry, excuse me. The website for the tutorial is Kite Learning. That's where I get it.
K-I-T-E? K-Y-T-E learning.com.
Yes.
Does anyone have the EdCamp notes up by any chance? Can you put that in there? kitelearning.com.
I'll
Yes.
say I use Adobe Spark on iPads with even kindergarten, and the kindergartners get the hang of it within a couple weeks and can totally manipulate it on their own. So it's easy, seriously, on an iPad, it's easy enough that kindergartners do it. So it allows them to they take pictures, they put in simple text, I have them make an alphabet book and things like that right in the middle of the year for kindergarten, and they're able to do it. So it's super that different grades can use it.
Is it web-based too? Does anyone know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, it's web-based.
it does both.
I'm drawing a complete blank. What is
It's kind of like Haiku Deck, but you can also record.
Okay, all right, okay, never mind.
But you get through it via Adobe, you go into Adobe and then
Adobe Spark. It's spark.adobe.com.
Yeah.
And you like it better than some of the other options?
It's just
out
super
there?
This is
easy.
really easy. And it gives you 3 different options. So you can do a video, you can do a page, Yes. it's kind of almost like a web page. So I've had kids develop web pages instead of a presentation. Or post, right? Is the other one? Right? Or you can make infographics. Yeah, it's really easy.
What about, how does that compare to Canva?
I think it's
Um,
easier.
It's
I
different.
think
More
Spark is
intricate
easier.
detail, yeah.
But it's the same concept as Canva and what's the other one?
Bunsy?
What is it?
Bunsy?
Buns?
it doesn't do
I
as
love
much as Bunsy. Bunsy's like more, like you can add more things to it. It has like, you know, the stickers and the graphics and all that. Haiku Deck, I think, is more similar because it's just very simple interface. Sometimes for the littles, less options is better because they'll get lost in the options. Just my thoughts. So.
Cool. No, I like that. It's fantastic. Anyone else have any tech tools that they either want to learn about or talk about?
Like, I'm just gonna piggyback on what she said about Bunsy.com. That's also a great tool, to use in your classroom.
How do you spell that?
Buncee, BUNCEE.com. It's a very simple again. I must, like, I took about maybe 10, 15 minutes, was able to create my own story. So I had the students do that for creative story writing.
When you say story, do you mean like actually write like a book or almost more
Well, no,
like
what
a
happened, what it
visual?
was the assignment was for Halloween, create a spooky story. So by using slides and images, slides, and then they put images on the slides, and then they could put music, and they were able to create like a scary story. So we read them on Halloween because it was really not.
It's
So
kind of
kind
like a
of-
slide presentation tool.
Or almost like Flash or something?
It's like a PowerPoint, but easier.
Okay.
Right.
So that they're embedded, right? The links like these to a
She's on
YouTube
Bunsy.
video, it's kind of
You
embedded.
can kind of base like the kids did all that. I told them, I said, I showed them the basics,
Right.
and then they went in and they of course download the video and the sound.
Yeah.
You can add sound to it. You can add.
Is it just one slide though? Because the
No,
ones I've seen are only
you
just
can
one.
create as many as you want.
Okay.
So it's buncee.com.
And the kids can upload their own video.
I didn't try the video part.
Okay.
And is there a fee for that too? Does it?
There's free and
Yes, it's free and paid.
The pay is $95 and it covers anybody who's in your Google Classroom.
Really?
And is it 95 a year or 95 lifetime?
They all have Google Classroom, so
Is it for a lifetime or a year?
I think it's for a year.
That's per teacher.
For a teacher. So I'm the computer teacher and have the whole school. So they all have access to Bunsy. It only costs us $95. But it's up to the students.
That's
Cool.
interesting.
So
That's
if
an
I work
interesting
in your
workaround,
school and
yeah.
my students have a Google Classroom, they can still access it because they have the preview, is that right? Okay.
So that's what I tell all the teachers, if they want them to do a Bunsy, to just have them open it up to a classroom.
Sir?
I just wanted to share, there's a guy, Rich Kraft, who came up with all these crafty extensions. It's crafty184.com. And I first started using one called Crafty Text, where you copy and paste the text into this text box, and then it puts word art over whatever else you're presenting. So if I do a presentation, I can copy and paste it into Crafty Text. When people walk in, they can see it nice and big, and it will go above any web page. Then I was looking for, I was at a presentation where they show with accessibility tools, how you can make this circle that will trail anything on a Chromebook. I went to go find it on an iMac and I couldn't find it. So I kind of stumbled upon, he also created something called Crafty Cursor, where it makes the cursor into any color ball that you want. So if you want the kids to look where you want them to look, you just turn on Crafty Cursor. If you go to crafty184.com, he's created like 7 or 8 of these different extensions. It's also pretty cool. He has one called Crafty Writes. If you put it on all the kids' devices, it automatically takes them to copyright-free pictures in Google. So instead of having them go through Google image search and then non-commercial use, if they had Crafty Writes, it does it automatically once they have that turned on. So he has a bunch of really cool ones. I actually emailed him. We used to use smartboards and we don't anymore. If he can create like a crafty screen shade of like if you ever use the screen shade tool and then you can just have them see what you want them to see. But I would crafty184.com. They're really good tools for, some of them are presentation tools, but other ones have to do with web searching and that type of stuff. And I've never seen anything like them before, and I end up using them a lot.
Yes.
So Google's been coming up with a lot of their applied digital skills. People looking at some of the things that they have, some of the lessons. And one of the nice things that I used is the ability to create a narrative, interactive narrative collaboratively using Google Slides. And they talk the kids through the whole process with video lessons about how to create a collaborative document. So it's just a nice teaching tool. It's a quick series of lessons. We turned it into a joint English-Spanish lesson because we lost a classroom during perk testing last year. And so we combined our classes and put them all in the same project. And the kids loved it. They were able to personalize it. It works for almost any age level, going probably down to 3rd grade. I think they need to be able to read a little bit before they can use it. But look for applied digital skills, and then they have this collaborative lessons. They have ones that are more high school appropriate too, but I'm a middle school teacher, and this one was perfect for us.
That was through Google? Did you say?
It was through Google. If you just Google applied digital skills, they're coming up with more and more lessons.
So like tutorials?
Well, it gives tutorials as well as a work format and templates for them and videos to talk them through it. So if you're going to be absent a day or a week and you need your kids to do something that's worthwhile and meaningful, it's built in and you don't have to worry about what the sub's doing because the videos are right there to teach the kids what to do.
Okay.
Step by step.
Does anyone use Seesaw in here? Can you talk about Seesaw? Nice.
Yeah, Justin did a great presentation at ESET back in September, and I've been using it ever since. I'm using the free version, and you can have, up to 10 classes. So I actually have 11 classes, so I just combine 2 into 1. And the parents love it. So the kids are allowed to basically share what they're learning with their parents. So everything has to go through the teacher first. It has to get approved.
If you want.
Yes.
Or you can turn that off.
And you can, so the kids have the option of uploading something from Google Docs. And I do this with even 1st graders. They can draw, they can take a photograph, they can do a video recording, so they can explain their thinking. So if they're doing a math problem, they can take a photo of what they're doing or video it, and they can explain to mom and dad what they're doing. So for conferences, this has been really handy for some of the classroom teachers. So they have the evidence to back up, some of the concerns they might have about a child, or to really show how fantastic the kids have been doing. But I love it.
Miss, you said you use it?
I use it, yeah. We use it K to 5. The kids do everything from taking pictures of what they're doing and explaining it to just, walking, because we are mixed iPad, Chromebook, depending on the grade weirdness. But the littles, they walk around with an iPad and just when they come to the innovation lab, we're doing something awesome, take a picture, snap it out, and it goes to the parents. We use it on the Chromebooks. The kids will read, do a sample read so the parents can hear how they're reading. So it takes pictures, it takes videos. We also started doing labeling, where you take a picture of something and then put in text boxes to label things. That's been a new hit going on with our Seesaw. The parents absolutely love that they get a fly on the wall feeling. If you get at least a couple of things in a week, it doesn't have to be even every day, a couple of things in a week, parents are so ecstatic because they really feel like they're seeing what's going on in classrooms.
Yeah, here's the difference between Seesaw and a lot of other things. I mean, they talked all about the videos up to 10 minutes of a video at a time. Everything's stored there. It's FERPA and COPA compliant, all that wonderful stuff. But it lets the parents know when something's been uploaded. So when you talk about those barriers to access, right? So people go, why would Google Drive? How many parents are going to go check their kids' Google Drives if they even have access and know the password and everything? This lets the parent know, either text, email, ding on the app, that something.
On their phone, each parent gets their own code. So the way we set it up, for the K and 1, we do the iPad setup where it's shared iPads and it's a shared classroom, and the kid tags their name or the names of whoever is in the picture, and it goes to folders for the teacher's approval. We then send home a letter to each parent. Each parent gets their own individual QR code to set up. For 2 through 5, we're Chromebook 1-to-1. So there, the kids sign in with their Google, but again, the parents get their own private QR code of what just their kids' folder stuff is. We put tons of we could also put in announcements in there. So instead of remind, we could put it in there. So it kind of consolidates a bunch of different things that you don't need to use as many different apps. They download the app on their iPad or their phone, and then they just get those notification alerts whenever something's put in.
And the beauty is once the parent hooks up with the Google account, So the kid signs in with their Google ID, and as long as their Google ID never changes, that parent doesn't have to sign up anymore ever again. It's a one-time sign up with the Google ID. If you're not Google or your kids are too young, like a lot of K and ones don't have the Google ID, then every year the parent would just sign up again with the new class.
Is that the paid version?
No,
It's all
follows them.
Okay.
And Seesaw was created by teachers and has come out and said, we will always be free for teachers. They have paid versions where if you want to keep all their data from kindergarten until they graduate high school, there's district levels and blah, blah, blah. Most of us just use the free version.
The paid one, you add like standards and you can do like a lot of like data for standard-based report cards. So you can put in like standards and curriculum stuff and stuff like that and keep a lot of data on the kids. In my district, we have 1 out of 17 schools that uses the paid version. My teachers aren't.
And it brings you a comfort level to the parent when you're having those conferences. So parents never see me in the videos because I'm always videoing and filming in my class or taking pictures of what they're doing because they do whiteboard reflections. We'll take a picture and then I'll upload it. When I meet with them, we already have a comfort level because they've heard my voice. They saw me interact with their child. They saw their child having a good time. It's kind of cool. It's almost like social media with us, right? If you've connected with people on social media who you never met and then you meet in person, you automatically have a comfort level because you've had interactions with them. So, yes.
I've been using Class Dojo for some of the same functionality.
Correct.
Very similar.
Because they have the My Story and the kids have it personalized. Only the teacher and the parents are seeing whatever they're posting.
Dojo's coming for Seesaw.
Yeah.
Dojo's aiming for Seesaw. So
Yeah.
I was trying to decide what to do, and I decided I needed behavior management as well as the portfolio building and the My Story, which is why I closed.
So
Class
Dojo basically does the same thing as Seesaw now. I have teachers with 2 different opinions on that.
Yeah, but the
Some
30
teachers
seconds.
like who love the one-stop shopping and having it one place. Some want their behavior management not to be a parent discussion on a day-to-day, like why did my kid lose a point? Well, your kid was talking in the hall. Does that need to be a parent conversation every single time your kid loses a point for talking in a hall? No. So some of my teachers want them separated into like this is for school and this is for home. And some like the one-stop shopping.
Yes,
This is an oldie but a goodie, but I still kind of use it. I don't know.
Hold on, before, is this a new tech tool?
Yeah, it's
All right, just
like
give me
brand new
1
or
second.
something, or like that's been used for a while.
Give me 1 second before I get off the Dojo Seesaw thing because I want to continue that. Does anyone have any questions more about Dojo and Seesaw? The only thing about Dojo I don't like is the negativity when you're taking away points and visually they put it on the board. It's almost like the clip chart to me. So
I don't use
if
the
you use
negative
it
points. I use it
just for positive?
For positives.
That is what I was going to say. That's the only reason why I like Dojo is when teachers have that mindset. We're going to give the positive points to people when they deserve it and ignore the negatives because it dings and it's kind of like Pavlov's dog.
But it is Pavlovian. The kids hear a ding, and I don't put it up on the board, so no kids ever see it.
Which is fantastic.
They only look at their own things. But if you have, like I work with my iPad, so I'll be walking around with my iPad giving out points. Meanwhile, my desktop has it loaded up, so they hear the ding coming through the smartboard or what have you. And it's like an immediate participation tool. The kids, they hear the ding, they're like, oh, I want to go beyond. I want to build on that. You know?
And whatever carrot you need to dangle in front of the kids, I'm good with. Miss, you had something new?
Oh, I was just going to bring up, I've shared this a couple times through the years, but ZipGrade.
What is it?
ZipGrade.
ZipGrade?
Yeah, so it's one word, ZipGrade. It's cloud-based, but also an app. So in my school, we struggle, as I'm sure with many schools, with technology. We have it, but it's not equitable. Not everybody gets it every day. We have Chromebooks, but you have to share them. So it's a Scantron, a paper-based Scantron. So I know everybody's trying to go paperless, but still have to deal with, not always having technology. So what it is every student has access to a Scantron, and you basically, with your mobile device, phone or a tablet, you can scan the Scantron and immediately be able to get the grade off your phone, just scan it and immediately see the answers. I don't use it as much for tests. I do use it for progress checks. What it's really good for is as soon as you scan it, you can show the student immediately their grade to get a private conference with them. And it also will immediately give you Excel spreadsheets and all different reports. So I actually show the class, we do progress checks, then I'll show the class how they did. And then they can kind of tell me, okay, so based on this question, 30% of you got this score, 70% we did this well. So how would you like to go further with your learning based on your scores? So it's kind of immediate data reports. And then you also have those data reports to show, like, based on progress learning, you can use for your SGOs and things like that. It's immediate reporting available to you. You don't have to produce that reporting on your own anymore.
Any questions about Zip Grade?
And $6.99 a year. That's and it's all to the cloud.
And I think Quick Key might be.
Yeah,
another one
I
that's
tried
similar.
Quick Key. This, in my opinion, I think this is a little bit better.
Cool.
You just import it directly from your gradebook. Takes all your students, and all your students are individual files, and then you can pull all your reports either by student or by class.
Any other tech tool?
Like a QR code, like the.
Yeah, you just scan it. So immediately, every student gets their own Scantron, and then you just print it once, and then I usually have a whole class, and then you just photocopy them as many times as you want. You can even give the students their own one for their binder, and then just use it whenever you want. Just say, turn to that in your, and then just photocopy it whatever you want. It's quick and easy.
Yes.
A couple of ones. We, for those of you who are iPad friendly, it doesn't necessarily work for the Chromebooks, but there's an app out that we love for green screens called Do Ink, and we really like.
You don't call it Doink?
I call it, no, I. DOIN.
It is one of the better green screen ones, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very
worth
easy
the
for
money.
the kids
It's one of the few that I truly believe is worth the money.
Yeah.
And it's cheap.
It's cheap, unless you're shipping it out to everybody.
But even
So
that,
we
you
have
keep
it for
on
select
purchasing.
apps. We have like classroom sets that have doing established in like our lab with the green screen so that the kids can go use that.
Sir?
I have another one for you, Brain Pop, which I've used for a long time for videos. They have more educator tools than I thought they actually had.
Uh-huh.
They came out this year with free, you don't have to buy it, whole digital citizenship unit.
Oh.
When you go into the digital citizenship unit or any video, they've started adding all these tools in. So they have a database of like 500 games. News ELA is now part of them. You can make your own movie as the Brain Pop character.
Awesome. That's cool.
And the other thing, if you use Brain Pop and you've just done movies and quizzes, there's a Brain Pop certified educator class online. It's totally free. I did it this summer. It doesn't cost anything except your time. And then they take you in as a student and as an educator. If you go to brainpop.com in the educator section on the bottom left, if you use it, you can actually even search by, I teach second grade, I need a language arts Brain Pops, I'm in New Jersey. It will go through its database and find you every single video, quiz, game, all of these different things.
Yeah, Brain Pops is like middle high school, and then Brain Pop Junior is like third grade and below. I really like Brain Pop a lot.
Brain Pop ESL also.
I did not know that. Brain Pop ESL, fantastic. I got to get to this one before we go any further. It's the greatest thing I've used since Seesaw is Google Keep. Who's using Google Keep in here? Tell us how great Google Keep is, please. Everyone should be using this, hands down.
There was just an article about it recently too. I did put out an article in the last 2
Matt
weeks.
Miller?
Yeah, about it, saying also that, because we have students now using it as well, especially students that with 504s and things like that, the idea that they can use to kind of
What is
bridge
it?
the divide.
Somebody's here. Tell people what it is, please.
So I kind of think of it as almost like a digital post-it note, so that you can basically keep notes. It's on his phone. and then he puts it as a Post-it note on his phone, and then he can remember it when he goes home and he's doing his homework, and he color codes it, and he puts it in task order. I use it myself for like shopping,
The other
food shopping list.
Google Keep now works with docs
Yeah.
and slides.
But you
Yes.
use it for basically it's what used to be Evernote used to be one of them, and then there was another one where you put articles that you could follow people. But anyway, long story short, you find a website or something you really like, you tag it in Google Keep, you put a label on it, you put it under it, you'll always be able to find it again. So when I'm on Twitter and I see 4,000 fantastic ideas or articles that I want to refer back to later, and then I'm trying to find that tweet, which we never can do, right? So now you Google Keep it, it's always there, accessible to you. Make sure you tag it right. I have my tag set up like tech tools, PD, social justice, whatever. Do multiple tags. You find your stuff, keeps everything together. It is awesome.
It's like the best of pocket.
Correct.
Ever.
It's everything put together in a way to find your stuff in the future. I would highly recommend you do it. It's already in your Google accounts. It's free. It transfers to every device you log into. I can't tell you how much of a game changer it's been for me finding all these tools again after I found them the first time.
I
That's a good question.
was gonna say, we also use it, I've tried to work with my language arts teachers on putting rubrics in it, because then you could just click on it and pop it into their papers. So like, this is a 3, this is a 4, with the explanation, you're not retyping anything, you're not doing anything.
It's cool. I
You can
know.
put it in copy and paste it into a comment. I also have found, you know how like you have a Google Doc and there's a picture and you want to use it and it's like kind of a track picture? So I found this, and I found it kind of accidentally. You can take the picture and put it in Google Keep, and then from Google Keep, you can download it. So those pictures that you want to use in a Google Doc that's kind of tracked there, that's been my workaround for
Nice.
quickly
That's real
downloading
cool.
the picture.
Instead of taking screenshots.
Yeah, because then you lose resolution.
There's resolution.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Google Keep is awesome.
So, just a functional question with it. So, when I'm on a website,
It's
am
an
I
extension.
copying the URL and then going
It's
into
an
it? I
extension.
can just click on it like I click on my Pinterest.
Click your
thing,
extension, it's a light
tag.
bulb, you click it, and it pops up, and it just says you could hit the one to tag whatever if you want. It saves automatically. You don't even have to hit save, I don't think, either.
No, it's yeah, it's just an add-on, and it works like, and it's just like the old school like Pocket and Evernote. It's just the idea of sitting somewhere and and you're working on it on your phone, and then magically it's on your computer when you get to your computer. It's just that
Yeah.
process.
I mean, I find thousands of ideas on Twitter, and now I can actually organize them and then use them. Yes, Miss.
I use it for my personal use, and
Sure.
I love that you can pin things
Uh-huh.
so that they don't leave or get lost in that file. Is there a way to share with that?
Yes, just like any other Google Doc.
Collaborators.
On the bottom, like
bottom,
there's a share thing, and you just share it right on with anybody, other Google, whatever. It's exactly like sharing a doc or slides or.
I just use it real quick on the crafty extensions. If you right click or 2-finger click, whatever you're using, it'll let you have that drop down list of the 2-finger click on any page, and you can save it as a Google Keep spot. I've been using it with my smartphone with setting it up so it has access to it, because our counselor sent an HIV incident,
Uh-huh.
and I need to keep kids separated in the phys ed field. They can't be on the same teams. So I have it on my smartwatch where Google Keep will come up, and you can set it certain times. So right before the period starts, you hear a doink, like, okay, that pain in the butt and that pain in the butt has to be separated. They can't.
Well, then you can use Team Shake, which allows them to get separated. You can put who doesn't go on the same team.
To that, but the HIV thing, there was also the counselor said, by all means possible, these 2 kids, girls, 6th graders, can't be together. So I get that reminder, or whatever it might be on my phone, and it goes to my watch, and you can set it up by time. And you go to custom. I meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you go to weekly reminders. And you can set it up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At what time? If a student needs meds, you could set it up that you need to send them to the nurse for meds. Or whatever you need. Instead of having your alarms go off, I know our computer teacher slash our makerspace person has a lot of alarms going off on her iPhone, a reminder to do this and that, but what does that alarm mean? With Google Keep, you can name it. I have one boy that needs to be reminded that it's a privilege to be in the hallway. So I have the text of what I need to say to him. It's a privilege to be in the hallway. Keep your hands to yourself, et cetera, et cetera. So Google Keep, I can't agree more with Justin. It's awesome and very customizable. For personal. I have it connected to a Google Home. I have my wife with the tab of, okay, Google, add this to the shopping list. Sorry if I activated any devices. But on our Google Home, you can set it up with your shopping list as part of Google Keep, and then you can add, your wife's on the way to ShopRite or on the way to Costco. You can add it to the list. When she looks at it, it's there. So
What's different from like old Evernote users is like with Evernote you used to have to use like Stitch and different apps in Evernote. This is all everything's so image compatibility and all that stuff is one-stop shop.
I never thought Evernote was easy enough for the littles.
No, I mean we would try because like it was old Evernote. I would try to replicate my Finder and try to create those type of. This has everything in it. Yeah.
For mixed grades, Flipgrid. I don't know if anybody's been playing.
Yeah, Flipgrid fever, right?
Yeah, I have a little Flipgrid fever going on in my school. So we're into that. For those of you who don't know it, it's video responses. They have a free version, a paid version. The free version, you only get one classroom, but you put as many topics in as you want. The kids then respond to your topic. In the paid version, they could then respond to each other with a blog, but video responses.
Can I ask you, why would you use Flipgrid if you have Seesaw? And that's a legitimate question. Because that's why I never super got into Flipgrid. If my kids can make videos and they can see each other's work, why do I need another tech tool? What's the difference there?
Because of the kids seeing each other in Flipgrid and the keeping it together as topics.
Okay.
So for us, the topic part.
And that's the paid version, right? It has topics?
No.
Or even the free one
both,
has it?
both.
Okay.
Also, in my position, I'm just trying to get teachers to, like, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And I will throw, 10 things out there and let each teacher kind of pick which one catches. So some teachers like Seesaw, some teachers love it. So a teacher who doesn't love that, but she's
I don't even want to
arts,
know them.
but I have a 5th grade language arts teacher. She's like, I don't really want to do the Seesaw thing. She's like, I don't want to do the parents. I'm like, okay, how about Flipgrid? And she's like, yes. So I gotta find that sweet spot for each individual person.
Absolutely.
We're all different.
So
So
I've been a long time Padlet, and the kids posting videos to that and everything like.
So that's a new tech tool. We could talk about Padlet.
Well, I was just thinking.
Which is an interactive digital board.
Padlet, isn't it?
No, it's only videos. Padlet you can post.
Exactly.
I mean.
They're a little different. So you still get the class interaction on Padlet. It's a big screen. The kids click on it. A text box comes up. You can put links, photos, responses. Padlet's really cool for like a interaction. But Flipgrid's just videos, as far as I know.
And it's just like just fast and dirty. Like all right, we're talking about this book. Tell me something about the character traits of the main character. You've got 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also breaks down what you have to say, like, because they actually do it in like certain levels. So like we used it for an icebreaker this year, and at first some of the kids were a little. I mean, me and the teacher did it first, but some of the kids were a little. They weren't into the idea of basically photographing themselves.
Yeah.
But like over time they got used to it. Some of them got really into it. It would allow you to like edit it, so you can put like cool little stickers on their faces. And me and the teacher that I work with, we actually wanted to start a pilot idea. Because we had this idea for, The Office. We had this idea for the classroom and having confessionals and doing like at the end of each week confessing on what we learned and what we did. So we're gonna actually start that up probably next week, and actually like first just we'll do it, and then maybe in like 2-3 weeks once the kids maybe get into it, and then be like, oh, I learned about this and this happened, or this was hard, or this was easy, or I have no idea what you just said. So like.
Another one for you. There's a website, an extension called Momentum.
Oh, love that.
And Momentum, every time you make a tab, it's going to show you a really nice picture in the background and the time. But I use it for, it says, what's your main focus today? So I could put for the kids, finish the marking period strong, do this well, do this, whatever message you want to give them. And then just on that one screen, the upper right gives you the weather, the lower right gives you a to-do list, and the upper left, you can get to all your links right in Google. And every single time you make a tab, Momentum automatically will come up. So I just leave it up, you know, after I'm done doing my lesson, I just leave it up on the board so they have, you know, focus and, you know, simple clock on the board if, you know, I can't see where the clock is or whatever. And it's supposed to like focus you too. There's not a million things going on. You can go to this one page and have the 3 or 4 things that you need.
So that you'll flip to that tab when you're done with your your lesson.
I just leave a blank tab and it just opens. And once you have the extension installed,
Okay.
every single, it looks like this.
Yeah, I just, okay,
Is
that's
your
cool.
district a clever district?
Not that I know of.
No, we
Yeah,
use
talk about
Clever.
Clever. It's cool.
Yeah, we use Clever, so like that takes over. We've got it set right now.
Tell them what Clever is.
Okay, so Clever is, it helps with the single sign-on, so each kid, it opens in the tab they get, or their homepage, like whatever they open, it opens right there, and it's got all the icons, and it automatically logs them into all the different programs. So we have, you know, Brain Pop, and it just pops them right in, and everything else. So especially for the really small ones where logging in is painful. We're working on it. Second grade can now log in. First grade, it still takes half an hour. But so once you're in though, they're in everything. So that's Clever. It's paid for. It's not that.
The only thing is with Clever, the other companies have to have an account and talk to Clever. So it doesn't include everything, but it does include most things. Most companies are through Clever.
And
like,
it's constantly more. Like we're Brain Pop, let me hit my Clever.
Google.
We're Google, so we have the Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google this, Google that. We do use Think Central, and Think Central does not work with it, which is aggravating. Because that's
saying, some of the stuff doesn't talk to Clever.
Think Central does not. But we have Common Sense Media hooked in just for a little digital citizenship here and there. And just to I also just put, want it there, just remind them that even if we're not doing a digital system, to always think about it.
We have our internal data platform, so you just log
Nice.
one stop, you know. You get
We use
there.
STEM scopes for science. It does pop them right into STEM scopes. We have a lot on it, and our tech department's working on more.
Has anyone used the new updated Google Slides?
Yes.
But the new ones.
Yes.
That tell us about what they just did
I was
to
gonna
it.
say, they took away Take a Snapshot.
Okay.
And Alice Keeler actually has an extension that you can get that will help improve it. So the kids used to be able to take a snapshot pretty easily, and they did that for whatever reason without any announcement. And I just found out yesterday, Alice Keeler, so she has her own extension now that you can get through the Chrome store that will kind of bypass that.
I don't understand why they took that off. That's
I have no
stupid
idea,
thing.
but they're
It's
gonna
about
want
the
it back.
author
It's
at the
because
end
it
of
uses
things.
Flash.
But
They're trying to stop you.
you'll be able to use Autocrat with Slides now, correct?
Use which one?
Autocrat. So all the extensions,
Mhm.
whatever they are now going to be able to use with Slides. The add-ons. So Autocrat is a real cool thing. You fill it out, it'll automatically, you put it on a template, whatever you fill out will get emailed to you. Well, now when you fill stuff out like through a Google form, it could get put to a Google slide, which in your classroom could show up automatically on the board. So you can create stories together as a class, get your feedback as a class, and everyone would be able to see that if they wanted to in slide format.
Justin, I've been using slides with my third graders. This is Heidi from Las Vegas. And we've been doing solving word problems. So as I'm working in small groups, I can see what the kids are doing and give them feedback right away and ask them questions instead of them having to wait 2 or 3 days by the time I decide to grade a piece of paper. And then they can collaboratively work together and get those mathematical practices in as well.
Sweet, thank you. That's Heidi from Las Vegas. There's 4 people, 3 or 4 on there listening to us. Thank you, Heidi.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Flipgrid, by the way, go back to it. At a conference I was at, I can't remember his name, but he had, the kids can do stop motion with it. Use it for stop motion, and this one boy figured out how to have a conversation with himself. So he was doing 2 different characters in a story. So he would stop like one character, he'd stop the video, and then and have a conversation with himself, and then he'd go back. It was the coolest thing.
Which one was this?
That was in Flipgrid. So it was amazing, and the boy had his Flipgrid liked his video he had posted, and it was Akash the Adventurer. And so Akash was interviewing Akash about
So
something
fun.
else. It was the coolest thing. I wish I could provide a link or whatever, but there are so many things apparently, other creative things you can do with Flipgrid.
Nice.
That's really awesome. I love the idea of talking.
It was really neat.
You say, yeah, in slides, but I know they added that now you don't have to copy a previous slide presentation
Right.
to take out
It'll
slides or
take-
add slides. There's a way to go in.
Nice.
If you have a slide deck with 30 slides and then a different class, you only need 15 of those. There's a way to just take the 15 out that you're not using.
Right.
Yeah, you can
And they
hide
added
them.
in like PowerPoint had, you could look, you could sort slides as like graphics, to go through and move them around. They added like a slide sorter if you ever used it in PowerPoint. Now it's like right on the bottom of the slide.
And for slides for the phys ed world, timed slides are the greatest thing I've ever done. So I bring in GIFs of, let's say, dribbling a basketball and just play. And then like every 45 seconds, the slide will go to the next one. It'll do a different dribbling activity. So I could walk around and work on form with the kids and give individual feedback while the activity's just going on its own. So I don't know how you would use that in the classroom, but it's an idea.
Just to piggyback on that, when you play slides and you can play it and loop it, there's a good extension called Drive Slides, or Slides Drive, one of them. And you take, people will send pictures for a show that we do. They'll send 200 pictures and I have to put it into a slideshow. I just click Drive Slides and click on the folder. If there's 200 pictures, it will make 200 separate slides with every.
That's
picture.
I just heard about that. That
And
sounds
then
so cool.
if you publish it as a website in slides, you can tell it, there's options, tell it to play automatically in how many seconds, and you copy that link and you're done.
Yeah. And all these notes are being put into the EdCamp New Jersey notes folder, the tech notes. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Apparently we have duplicate slides with the Google, the microbits. Like we have the same slides.
Because I
So
messed up.
I wrote at the top, I said it's so see both.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's because I'm an idiot and I wrote 104 and we're 108 because I can't get a simple number right.
If we're talking about slides still, I'm sure most people know Slides Carnival. I always
Oh,
wanted
I love
that
Slides
just-
Carnival.
Slides Carnival has all the templates. You want to talk about?
Yeah, well, I give it actually a lot to students when they're doing presentations, because otherwise you have students who all use the same template.
So
And, yeah, and it's like always that same basic template. And then you get with Slides Carnival, they all use the most outrageous template together with the font and no one can see. But yeah, Slides Carnival is awesome. Just also kind of to start using different things and jazz up your presentations. But basically, it's a free website. Basically, all these free templates, and when you go on the template of your choice, it will just basically copy it to Drive, and it copies the template, and you get I would say dozens, at least over 100 templates easily there.
I mean,
And
great.
Marvel,
Yeah,
the
and
Marvel
everything's
one,
built
which look
in,
for the
fonts,
comics.
yeah, everything.
I like the one where it has like the TV and
Yeah.
so you can put a picture in the TV. Those always
It
look
reminds me
sharp.
of like when Microsoft back in the day had all those like different templates, for like faxes and all that type of stuff. So yeah, it's cool.
Yes.
Excuse me, I'm kind of a tech, newbie, so I'm here learning. Is there a clearinghouse website or a blog that would be like, there's always a conversation going on about these different things?
About tech tools?
Yeah.
Well, you want to follow people. So Richard Byrne is my ultimate guru. Like I love him. He does freetechforteachers.com.
And Control Alt Achieve.
Control Achieve, yeah. So BYRNA. He's out of Maine. Alice Keeler is googly. She's I would read her blog sometimes. Alice Keeler. Sometimes when you ask her questions, she's not always the most receptive person on there, but her knowledge of Google is second to none. So I would check that out.
KEILLER.
They're in the notes.
I've been following this group of Texas tech educators. It's like TCEA blog.
Yep. Yeah, TCA is good.
And they have tons of stuff. They just put in this one blog. They just had all these things. I'll see if I can find the link for it. Of all these ways to make different signs that were creative. Did you see that one?
So let's talk Google Communities now that you brought that up, and then we'll get back to you, sir. So Google Communities out there are probably one of these underutilized tools that are fantastic. People don't like the Google Plus communities. I don't know why, but there's tech communities of 100,000 teachers that You put a question in there, they will get back to you. They're all like way more knowledgeable than anything I ever learned myself. So you just put it in there. They're always putting new stuff. You know, with tech, we worked yesterday, won't work tomorrow. So they'll tell you all the workarounds of the newest things. So look up, there's like Connected Educators is one. There's all of them. Look at Google Plus. Sir, in the back, you had one?
What if anyone uses a
Pear Deck? Yeah, Pear Deck and Nearpod are similar stuff, and Rochelle Poth, I believe her name is, compared them. But you want to talk about what Pear Deck is, or you just want to know about it? What's Pear Deck?
It's just like Nearpod. So it's an interactive, like, formative assessment slide presentation, but you can ask questions through the slides. So, and it actually, they also just released within the past couple weeks a vocabulary section too that we're kind of playing with. So it has a couple of different things. But if you think of, like, you put in a title slide, you can embed a video, you can ask multiple choice questions, short answer, paragraph. There's one where you can move a dot, you can draw, you can put in like graph paper and have the kids draw on the graph paper. Awesome for math, awesome for anything. But
And now I also am using it as student-based learning, so students can guide themselves, because not only does it have to be guided by the classroom, it can now be student-based guided. So you can give everybody a link, and each student can go through the slide and the questions by themselves, which is great when they want to go back and see something and then answer the question, so they can review according to their needs. And this works really well for review lessons. And know that too, for Google Slides, you can incorporate Google Slide presentation that you've already created right into Pear Deck. So you don't have to recreate your Pear Deck. You just take your Google Slides, just integrate it right into Pear Deck. It creates a Pear Deck where you can ask the questions and gather the data for the answers.
Yeah, Nearpod's similar in the same vein, where you bring in your PowerPoint or your Google slide. And what's cool, and is Pear Deck the same way? When I go to the next slide, everyone's computer goes to the next slide. And on the top, if somebody's not in there, you'll see that their number drops off. You're like, why 14 kids, 25 kids, whatever? Why is that number down? So you can tell when the kids aren't there. Your formative assessments, polls you put in, links you can put in. I really, really like that as this direct instruction engagement, like over the top. So instead of everyone looking up top, look at your device in front of you. When I move it, it moves automatically. It's awesome.
And it has an add-on too in Google that you can have the add-on for Pear Deck.
So you have a choice. Self is, I think it's.
All right, we'll check that. Hold on one second.
Or classroom.
So Heidi, you said there's an add-on in Google?
For Pear Deck. So it's nice if you don't have a computer, your kids can log on from their phones too. And I've used it for presentations. If the room doesn't have a smart board or something or a projector, I could still do my presentation from my cell phone.
That's funny. I was at a conference and it clearly stated, presenters bring a projector. Dude walks in 5 minutes before it's going to start, doesn't have a projector. So I said, email it to me, your presentation. I took it, I put it into Nearpod, put the code up there. Everyone in the room has access to it. So same thing with Pear Deck. Really, really cool.
Nearpod though has a nice library. So like you can download other people's activities and then tweak them to make them your own. Pear Deck at this time doesn't have that feature, which is really great for like beginner, you know.
Yeah, Nearpod's fantastic for their library. There's some really cool stuff.
What's it called? No. Pear Deck is actually you have to pay for it to be actually user friendly, but you can call them and negotiate with them. So I called, for example, and got 7 licenses for the price of 5.
Nice.
Rather than
good for them.
Yeah, you call and negotiate with them. They're pretty good like that.
Sir?
I just have 2 for the person here.
Yeah.
I would start right on this guy's website, Eric Kurtz, ERICCURTS. Eric Kurtz is a trainer for like 25 schools in Ohio. If you go to his site, anything Google, he'll give you a Google Doc with all the directions, Google Slides with all the directions, and he does an hour every month on all new Google tools you could go back and watch like the YouTube video of it, and he'll give you like a Google Doc with all the tools. And the other one is you can put it right in Google G Suite Training. You have to pay for is now free. There's a G Suite Training extension. It comes up as like a little circle in the right-hand corner. Any Google page you're on, if you click it, it will show you like a 2-minute video on whatever page you're on. So like in the beginning, when you're learning it, it's a helpful tool.
What was the first person you said?
Eric Kurtz.
He's the Crystal Altitude guy, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Oh, what's the one? Control Shift T?
So-
Brings up old tabs.
I have to say, one of the things that I'm loving right now is EdPuzzle still. I know it's been around.
Yo, love EdPuzzle.
EdPuzzle allows you to take any YouTube video, any video, embed your own questions in it. You can make the kids have to answer it before they can watch the rest of the video. You can even see if it's correct before you go on. You can crop both ends of the video. You can crop the middle of it. So you can take somebody. English teachers are notorious for wanting perfection. And so you can take somebody with a lesson about irony where they kind of screw up part of it and take the part that they screw up, but keep the fun part that you like that's accurate. And yet ask questions. And I put my little voiceover, I'm like, wrong, that's not right. It's
I do. My favorite lesson that I teach all year is I do the story about the Sneetches, and I put it into EdPuzzle, do it with the first grade class, plays on the smartboard. I sit in the back, and then as soon as the part comes up, a question pops up on the smartboard in front of everybody. Sometimes I'll have the kids read it, sometimes not. We discuss it as a class, like why didn't those Sneetches want to be with the other Sneetches? So it's a racism lesson. And then I have a kid press next, because you don't even have to answer it if you don't want. You can just hit next, and then it goes, it plays on. When I want it to stop again, it automatically stops because you could preset where it stops, and you could either add a question that they answer. It could be multiple choice, open-ended. I'll do lessons where I'm sitting on my computer. I'll conference with the kids and call them up as they're doing it. Why did you answer this way? It shows up, works with Google Classroom. EdPuzzle is the bomb. I love it.
super easy to use. So if
Is
you're
our
afraid of
time
tech,
on?
it's very, very easy.
What time is the session?
6 minutes ago.
5 minutes. If you want to go further, that's why we have third and fourth session board open. Because of stuff like, if you want to keep this conversation going, then somebody else write Tech Tools 201. So maybe we go in depth with some other ones, or whatever it is you want.
What's your Twitter
At
handle?
SCHLEIDER. And if you look through the EdCamp feed, you'll see me in the next couple days put stuff out. But at SCHLEIDER, then JUSTIN. Sure.
What's the name of that contraption you're using?
Yeah, buddy, the UC 1500. It's in the notes. And you'll hear, like, I use this because I'm on the phys ed board for New Jersey, and we have people Skype in from like South Jersey, North Jersey, and it picks up everything. Heidi, can you tell us how clearly could you hear this rinse?
I was able to hear you guys very clearly.
And that's really hard, considering this is a giant room with 30 people. So this is a microphone, that's a microphone, that's a microphone, and there's speakers as well. This is our Revo Labs. It's called Revo Labs makes it. They sell one that's just this, and then I wanted to pick up extra sound, so I bumped up to the 1500, which has, no, this is my Logitech camera that I just stole from my computer at home, so my laptop can face this way. Yes.
So I put in the notes a link for a couple of things for HyperDocs templates.
Nice. HyperDocs would be great to talk about in the future. Talk about that next session. What is it? What is it not?
And then I also put in a link for my fellow English teachers, commonlit.org, which is phenomenal lessons. And I like it because they have a guided reading component where the kids are reading articles. It's for grades 5 to 12. And they'll read an article and it won't let them go on. You can until they answer the guided reading question correctly. So it helps your struggling readers. And then the questions are all park-like for the assessments that go with it. So it's very nice, good discussion tools. And then my other favorite is Newsella Pro. If you're not using that, holy cow. Well, I will tell you,